So very good afternoon, everyone. Already our external has joined. Now we'll start our session. So again, I bid good afternoon to everyone and a very warm welcome back to the day two of the workshop. Today promises to be another engaging day with insightful sessions. So to begin the first session of today, I would like to request our external Mr. Aman Jain to deliver his presentation. So at beginning, I would like to introduce our resource person. Today, we have with us Mr. Aman Jain, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, graduated in 2015. He started his professional journey with ITC Limited, where he gained experience in large-scale processes and operational systems. Over the years, he has worked with multiple startups across product, operation, and growth, helping teams solve real business problems and scale efficiently. Currently, he is working in the startup ecosystem and brings hands-on experience from both corporate and startup environments. Today, he will be sharing his insights on entrepreneurship, innovation, and building solutions that create real impact. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Aman Jain. So, over to you, sir. You can start your session.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay, for introducing me. So I will start with sharing my screen. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Visible, sir.
yes.
Yes. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being having me here. So my name is Aman Jain, and I'm happy to see so many future founders with us today. For the next hour, we will look at the whole process of starting business. We will move past simple ideas and focus on steps you can actually take. Our goal is to give you a clear map, a blueprint to turn your first idea into a business that you can grow. So let us begin. Before we dive into the blueprint, we first need to understand where the future founders in this room are starting from. And with the same purpose, we rolled out a pre-workshop survey, which has been filled by many of you. And this slide summarizes the key insights we gathered from the pre-workshop survey. So we found three major takeaways that structure the rest of the workshop. First is the biggest emotional hurdle is fear and self-doubt. So most of you guys admire entrepreneurship, but feel emotionally incapable of starting. That's very common feeling. Having most of the people have that feeling. Second, there is a clear need for a framework. Students want a practical step-by-step how to start guide. So this was the one of the biggest point in the survey that we know we are motivated, we have some ideas, we know how where to find the problems and how to find the solutions, but we don't know how to start. So we will be covering most of the time in discussing this particular point. And the third point is, which is a good positive point from all of you, is you guys are really good in problem solving and you understand that problem solving skill is the one of the most important skill to having a start with a startup. So we will quickly cover how to overcome the fear. So this is about breaking the emotional barrier of starting a business. So first, let us talk about the imposter phenomena. This is when you feel like you are not capable or you does not belong to that space. Just remember that this feeling is common for every founder and every person who is working on big projects. So it's a normal part of the journey and not a sign that you are a failure. Second, we should have steps where we can validate ourselves by taking small steps. So instead of taking a big scary leap to start a whole company, we start small. We test our ideas with low risk experiments. These small tests reduce the overall fear and give you a small win to build confidence. And third is look for a community support. Surround yourself with like-minded people uh, who want to do something similar. They want to work on big projects. They want to start something. They want to create value. Even they will have some doubts, but when you are working in a community, that will motivate you to keep working towards a common goal rather than working individually and giving up after some time. So community building is one of the key aspects. So since we have understood what are the three things how to overcome fear. So at the beginning itself, I would like each of you to take 60 seconds for a quick self-reflection and try to find a motivation anchor for you. So I suggest please take a 67 moment of pause and think who is that person that inspired you to keep going even when you doubt yourself. You can think of a person maybe from your college, from your school friend, or someone else who can keep you motivated. And for 60 seconds, I expect that at least 1 or 2% will share their experience, whether they have found that person or that person they are yet to found. So let us start with 60 seconds now. So 60 seconds are over. So anyone would like to share whether you have found a person who keeps you motivated and what is the reason behind it? Is there anyone who did not find anyone, any support who can motivate you to start working on what you are trying to build? Okay. So if no one is willing to answer, I will share in general what happens. So basically, approx 50% of the people will have some person who will motivate them, mostly within their hostel or the college group, and that person will motivate them and will help them not to give up in long run. But remaining 50% of the people will lack this particular support. They will have friends, they will have colleagues, but they will not be helping you in the journey you want to start. So it is very much necessary when you are trying to build something new. You should have at least one support with whom you can discuss and try. So Srikant, you have typed myself. Can you explain what you are trying to say?
I'm self-motivated, sir. Myself, I will motivate itself, and
That's
I'm doing all frameworks with respect to startups, and then I am doing it one. So there are success and failures. So,
great. And how do you deal with failures? Means that is interesting to know.
yes, I understand. Actually, the thing is, before that, I going, but anything to happen to me, so I will consider it is like in a practical framework. I'll study and I'll go through frameworks and I'll implement. I will attend few of the conferences and startup meets. I usually visit startup co-working spaces. Uh,
Okay.
there I can learn too much. Why? Because the thing is how startup will operate, and then how they are doing. So there are risks. So I will ask them. I will share their experiences with them.
Hmm.
With those experiences, I will apply to in my uh, businesses, in my areas where I am applying in my ideas.
Good, great. And this is one of the way you can keep yourself motivated. Failure is a part of success, right? So whenever you are failing or you are not getting the results you want, you should learn from your mistakes and also try to get knowledge from external sources, which you are already doing great.
Thank you, sir.
So we have just finished talking about how to manage your fear and self-doubt. Now we move into the second major part of our blueprint, the need for a framework. So in survey, it was one of the biggest question that how to start, how to think about the startup ideas. Uh, then once if you have a startup idea, then how to think about the solution, how to register a company, how to get incubation support. So we will cover all these things in the coming slides. So you guys are already feeling inspired, but you need a practical guide on how to start. So we focus on three key execution steps that forms a strategic roadmap. So the first part is how to think about the ideas. So we'll look into how and develop a strong startup concepts. Second is startup registration, how to register a startup. We will give you a step-by-step guide to make your business goals. Third is incubation support, how to apply for incubation. This covers how to get outside help and funding to grow your ideas. So these are the 3 points which we will cover. So let us start with the foundation. So first is the customer problem. So before we are starting something, we should understand that we need to create value. We need to solve the real life problems. So no startup can survive unless it solves a real and painful problem. So you must start deeply understanding the person who is suffering and why this problem matters to them. This is the foundation of your business. If you can identify such problems, then you have a good idea on which you can start working. Second is the innovation solution. So this cannot be just a small fix. It must be a better, faster, or cheaper, or a satisfying solution. Then only this will be accepted by the users who are facing some challenges. So your solution must be clearly different, not just a small improvement. If there is no sufficient differentiator, then it's very difficult to build a business on it. Third is the business model itself. A great idea without a plan or making money is only a hobby. It's not a business. So when you are talking about business, your idea, your solution should generate revenue. And when you are planning your business, you should understand your customers, what they need, how much they are willing to pay, and for how long they can pay. So if you are able, so these are the 3 points. If we can answer all these three things, then we are good to go with the startup registration process. So I will cover each of the topic in detail. So we have just talked about the three foundations of a startup. We will start with the customer problem. So this slide shows our three-step plan to validate a problem. First, you must identify pain points. Do not just ask people what they need. Instead, watch what they do. Because most of the time, when a person is facing a problem, they don't know about the solution, but they do understand what problem they are facing. So look for a real continuous frustration points. When you are targeting a particular customer segment, understand what is the thing that they are getting frustrated, the problem they are facing every day. A real problem causes strong and persistent pain. If you are able to solve that pain through your solution, you have a that you are working in the right direction. So when you will start doing a research on the customer segment and the problem you want to solve for, so at this stage you will have a list of problems. Either you can make a list of hundreds of problems, you can have list of tens of problems. It totally depends what is the domain you are trying to cover, what is the area you are trying to cover. But if you have you start working with a list of tens or hundreds of problems, then you will not be able to start working on the execution or the prototype building. So you have to apply a filter, and that filter is quantify the impact. So what is the impact of that problem? This means finding out the big problems. How often does it happen? How much time, money, or emotional stress does it cause to the customer? If it is not giving pain to the customer or the overall cost of suffering is less, then there are high chances customer is not going to accept your solution. So you have to have the filter that problem should be big enough, and user should be willing to switch or take your solutions to solve the pain points. Third, you must validate willingness to pay. There are solutions where users are accept the new solutions, but they're not willing to pay. So you have to also validate that is my solution is does customer find my solution is paying worthy? Will they be able to pay? And if they are going to pay, will it be a one-time investment or it will be a recurring payment? So if you are going to apply this particular filter also, then at this stage, you should have only maximum 1 or 2 ideas, big impactful ideas on which you should think about building a startup. If these filters are not working enough, then you need to rebuild your list again and start from the same iteration process. So after applying both the filters, then we should start thinking about the solution. Out of 1 or top 2 problems which you have filtered out, select one problem which you think you are able to find the solution and start thinking on the solution part. The solution should follow the one single rule that you should bring improvement of 10x. This means your solution cannot be just a little bit better what already exists in the market. If you are trying to build a new business out of it, want to create a value out of it, then it should not be a marginal improvement in your solution. It should be a significant solution improvement. And the value you want to drive out of your solution are the 4 things. Your solution either should be faster, or should be cheaper, or should be better, or should be more satisfying. If your solution is having any one of these characteristics, then you are in the right direction. But if your solution is not following any of these characteristics, there are high chances that you are working in the wrong direction, and the chances are less that your business will thrive. So I will give some examples. Suppose you want to build a business suppose you want to build a business in the field of courier, right? And from Delhi to Maharashtra, if the normal road courier is taking 3 to 5 working days, and you are trying to build a big business out of it, then your solution should be faster. That instead of taking 3 to 5 days, you should provide the delivery in 2 to 3 days. Then only the existing customer base will shift from the old courier services to your new courier service. Similarly, if you are in the business of grocery selling, right? So if you will sell the product at the same MRP price what other platforms or other grocery stores are selling, then you will not attract the large customer base. Then you should have to give some sort of discount. You have to bring innovation in your supply chain to provide a better or cheaper deals to the end customer. Similarly, innovation is just not about features, it is about the customer's full experience. You must create an emotional connection and make products seamless and enjoyable for the users. So there is one more example. It's not necessary that when your service is faster or your product is cheaper or better, then only user will get satisfied. There is also a domain where neither your product will be faster or cheaper, it will be expensive, yet you will provide satisfying experience to the end user, and it's an emotional connection. For example, so currently there is a lot of awareness about go green and reduce carbon footprints. So users are moving towards the material which can be easily recycled, and they are not using plastic, right? So there are things which user feel satisfied even after paying a lot of money, that they are contributing positively towards the environment and not negatively. So emotional is also a good factor to consider when you are designing a solution for the problem. Now, once you have filtered out the business idea, problem, then you have designed the solution for it based on the 4 drivers. Now you should analyze whether your solution can build a business out of it or not. So the solution which you have built up, you should ask following questions to yourself. Who is going to pay for this solution? How much a customer is going to pay for this solution? And at what frequency they will keep paying? If you have answered for these things, then you are good to go and launch your product type. If answer to any of these things is no, that they are not willing to pay, or I don't know how much they are going to pay and at what frequency, then there is a high chance that you need to iterate your solution or you need to modify your solution. And once if you, and it's we should always think about profitability from the day zero itself. If you're not going to think about the profitability in the long run, it becomes difficult to sustain. So unit economics wise, I'm not talking about the one-time expenses, but I am talking about in terms of operations. You should always have a clear-cut business model, how you are going to make money and profits. So I will share some example. Basically, it's a question to you guys, so some of you can answer. Suppose if I ask you to design a micro insurance business for the gig workers. Gig workers means delivery partner of delivery apps, Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart, and similar in the similar domain. So what kind of payment models you will use? Anyone would like to answer? Guys, I need response. This is what say required, because then only I will get to know whether what I am trying to say you guys are understanding or not. And answer has to be in the line what I have just discussed in the previous slides. Manish, would you like to describe what kind of subscription model you are talking about?
Sir, yes, Pakshik on this side. And the model that I'm discussing about is that we need to get this gig workers to pay us from the, because we know the salary that they would be receiving is pretty much less, right? They don't have the sustainable model of getting too much, not having too much money at their hands. So if we get them built to the subscription model, it will be much cheaper, a better alternative for them as well, so that they can pay, right?
So, okay. And at what frequency you will collect subscription?
I think according to their payments that they get from their, I think per month, I would say, because they would receive the clearance of the payments per month from the gig, from the store facility they are working in. Let's suppose Zomato or Swiggy or somewhere. So I think per month they get clearance, and according to it, they can arrange them payments for the micro insurance, I can say.
Per month is good when you have a stable income. These people do get daily incentives as well, and most of the time the payment frequency is higher. It's not monthly, maybe it's weekly. So depending on the audience and what kind of feedback we get, probably we might have to go payment collection at weekly level. Monthly, it will be a difficult for them to save and what say pay the monthly subscription. So, but yes, you are in the right direction that the frequency should be less. Kabir?
Mr. Pravir, do you have any question?
Yes, Srikant, amount has to be less. So it cannot be a insurance plans what is getting what we are selling for normal public middle class. It has to be a minimum basic plan with a minimal amount of premium. So it will be a different product altogether. Okay, I will ask one more question. Suppose we are in a business of online hotel booking, and our target customer is solo meal travelers, right? And they are booking the hotels through us because we are giving them predictability. Uh, the rooms are hygienic, rooms have AC, TV, and building infra is good enough. So basic facilities are there. Now we want to increase the hotel charges by 20% by including some services. So what kind of value addition we will do so that customers are ready to pay for the 20% premium? So now consider two sets of customers. One is the solo male traveler. The another set is solo female travelers, which will be easier to target. Yes, Srikant, explain.
With respect to male travelers, they don't have much expectations. So compared to female thing, they need comfort. But male travelers need mostly for resting purpose and refreshments. And then only for food also, there is no much or higher expectations.
But why did it pay 20% premium? Suppose earlier
Here,
they were paying 1,000 rupees a night. Now why will they pay 1,200 rupees a night for the same service or little upgraded?
uh, we can value addition aspect by providing by improving the quality of service. We can add value uh, and on-time service, advance booking. So through the app, if they can on the way they can book in the sense they can schedule the things. That's what through uh, app that's a booking through booking. If you are able to offer the services through the booking, they can advancedly book and then they can reserve that and then they can. It's a easy way to occupy that and then maintenance of the premises also for the vendors.
Okay.
Value addition point here is about the improvement of quality and easily accessible of what they needs compared to wants. So needs can be satisfied.
Okay. But there is a catch. What if male solo traveler does not need any upgrade, right? If you are adding the value added services, he will switch to another normal hotel with the same price.
Yeah, in that case, expectations will come. Expectations is nothing but a wants. What they want, so we have to identify uh, the things earlier, and then based on the depends on the geographical area. So why? Because it depends. Solo travelers, so if they are traveling in the northeast is different, and they are traveling in the mountains is different, and then it depends on location also. So what they are expecting? Why? Because if they are in the south, in the sense it is a hot area where sunlight is very heavy, so they need cool. But if they are in the Himalaya, like Shimla or Himachal Pradesh or Ladakh area, there is no requirement of cooling space. The thing needs will be that expectations are also different. And the thing is, with respect to hotels also, so they don't need to maintain cooling the things, all those things. Why? Because already nature is already cool, so they can be focus on different aspects. It depends on geographical location. It's varies with the geographical location to location.
Right. We have touched the correct point. Demography. I will discuss demography in the coming slides as well. So this is one factor. Now I want someone to think about, if we want to target solo female traveler, then what kind of one additional feature we can include so that we can increase the price by 20%. Anyone can think of it?
Sir, safety, hygiene, this
Safety is
kind
the
of.
safety. Hygiene is already covered. So
uh,
safety is the one of the biggest concern, right? Solo female traveler needs safety.
yes, and previously.
Safety and privacy. If we can include these two features, then there are decent chances that most of the solo female traveler will be ready to pay 20% premium.
Cultural cuisines also, sir, like cultural cuisines also we can add. Like most of the restaurants, they are trying to support, since they're travelers, so they would require cultural cuisines as well. If they add cultural cuisines, or we can renovate the hotel to replicate the culture that we are located in, the culture of the
Hmm.
place, it would be much habitable and much better as an experience also. So for that, I think customers are ready to pay much more premium than they are previously paying to us.
Right. So good. People are starting thinking about it. So the purpose of this exercise is, when you are trying to figure out a solution, right? This is a common problem every startup has to answer. That if you want to increase your revenue, how to increase price, how to increase sales, and there are no fixed answer for this. Every answer is correct answer if you have a logic for it. So next step comes, if you are building a theory, because all these three things are theory. If we can add cuisine, if we can add safety, if we can have some more features, right? So the first purpose is, if you are going to make a change in your pricing or in your product, you have to test it, and don't roll it out to 100% of the users, because it can backfire to you. Roll it out to certain set of users, understand their feedback, and then scale it. And then only will be 100% sure that whatever you are thinking is correct or you need improvement. So when we are thinking about the business solutions, the key factors which plays a role is the geography, uh, then the education level of the customers, which kind of city they are living. It's tier 1 city, tier 2 city, tier 3 city, their genders, their language. So all these factors will decide the kind of product you have to launch, the kind of pricing you have to do. So keep all these factors in your mind while deciding the pricing. So this is a time of second self-reflection. So we have understood how to how to list down the problems, how to filter out the problems which have big impact, how to think about the solution in terms of four drivers: cheaper, faster, better, and satisfying, and how to think about the business model and pricing points. So now I want you guys to think about a problem which you are facing or your peers are facing, and you see an opportunity to build a business out of it. Take a pause of 3 minutes, and post 3 minutes, I will expect at least 1 or 2 person who will discuss their pain points along with solution and probable business model. So 3 minutes are over. So anyone has come up with a problem and a solution? Anyone? You guys are not facing any problem in your life? Guys, I really want you to open up so that we can discuss. And with this discussion, I will get a feedback whether what I'm trying to say or what I have covered in the previous slides you have understood or should I repeat. So it will be great if anyone can share the problem and the solution, whatever you are facing in your daily life. Okay, so let us move. So we just finished our reflection on finding big opportunities, but I think I assume that you might have given a thought about it, but not sharing. That's okay. Now we move to the next important step in our roadmap.
Sir, I am audible.
Yes.
I am audible, sir.
Your sound is very less. Who is there?
I am Proshun, faculty member of NIT.
Yes, Dr. Prasun.
Yes, actually, yeah, that is a very good thing. But what happened in most of the cases, you also know that in our education system, and we faculty as well as student, when we are thinking in our MTech or PhD program, that we are always thinking about the paper oriented, that we need to publish the paper, and we know think at something product maybe develop it is applicable to the this is the one way of thinking, means thinking, you can say our mindset problem is there, so
Right.
in that scenario, it is very, we have facing the lot of problem, but we don't think that this problem can be utilized as a product. That is the issue. That's why nowadays I feel so. How basically this our mindset issue, which already you are giving us the 3 minutes, but we have facing the lot of problem, but no actual things is basically this can be materialized to the industry. These things are not automatically came to our mind. That is the issue. You giving us chance to that, but I definitely, from the my end, I definitely tell that no things is came to my mind to which is can be materialized.
Understood. And this is the reason at the beginning I talked about the community building, because when we are in a group of like-minded people, business-oriented people, in day-to-day discussion, you will develop that thought process. If there is an opportunity, you will do research, you will find solution, and then the next question will come: can this be converted to a business in one or the other way? So that community building is also a part of it. I will talk a little bit more about that in the last of this presentation. But I think thought process can be solved in the two ways. One, you can learn a lot of frameworks, how to fix the mindset. Second, you can surround yourself with the like-minded and the positive-minded people, and this will be fixed. But good, it's a good point that you have shared here, because I feel this is one of the critical point, but people do not share about this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I assume that all the points so far we have discussed. Yes.
Second Teddy has replied in message.
Yes, Shrikant. Shrikant, would you like to discuss this?
Yes, sir. In academic aspect, they are not working on commercial. They are doing projects, but they are not doing commercial aspects. Maybe in higher organizations also, they are getting government funded projects, or some limited companies, they are offering something to carry. They are solving it and doing it, but they are not doing coming up with a new idea and then making it commercially successful and then making it, scaling it, at least to developing prototype, all those things. This culture is developed recently only, almost 5 to 6 years ago mostly. So but Bangalore is full of startups. So here culture is very nice with respect to startups, and risk taking is very high. But
Right.
depends on as you discussed earlier, and then exposed, given some idea also to the people. As per with respect to geographical location and culture, it affects the people. So if somebody is doing it and then impacting, showing impact on the society, in the sense, automatically other people's plan to do, and then when it comes to out, and then they are getting appreciation, all those things. There are so many startups which got appreciation. Right now government took an initiative to giving fundings, all those things. There are gaps are there. So it is still not 100% successful, but as with respect to government aspects, but people who are risk takers, they are getting into startups, coming with new ideas, planning to implement. It's not only copying a new idea and developing it. So there are copying also how China is developed only by copying manufacturing things. The thing is, there must be someone is has developed, and then so it needs to be. It also requires a lot of talent. So not like one person has done it, other person has to do it. It's not so easy. So what technology is it used? Maybe it's not so easy to like what you'll say that knowledge transfer, KT, to take that technology transfer. We can take say the correct word is technology transfer. So how someone has done it and then doing it. So the first initial stage, as per my knowledge, so the best way to doing developing the thing is there are developed countries where they are doing projects in their country. So if it is useful for us, better to copy those things also. That is one of the way. So, and the second thing is coming out to entirely new idea is that is far more risky. We don't know the entire results, but prototyping, lot of risk taking, and then leadership is required to take forward for finding all those things. There are different ways of doing it. So, as per my knowledge, I shared it. So,
Good.
hope this is.
It seems, Srikanth, you have done a lot of research. In fact, you have touched two good points. First is developing an idea entirely new. And second is, if anyone has done something good, we can copy it. So both of these points I am going to cover in my coming slides. And this is how I categorize innovation. So I will discuss this point more in detail at that point of time. And also about the culture, I think these kind of workshops that is getting organized in NIT Silchar, this will also change the mindset and will start a discussion point. And it's a good initiative by Dr. Bijit and their team. So good thing.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir. You can continue. So I do not want to interrupt. Why? Because it's a limited time. So maybe you would like to, what you'll say?
Sure.
Would like to give more to the team. So everybody is waiting. But anyhow, the practical discussions will give more expose than the slides. So they may study in the books. Maybe your experience you are sharing it. So I would like to listen all the participants. He is giving wonderful session. So kindly explore it and then make it happen. So it is so much useful. So what is from the starting I am seeing. So it's not what is sharing the slides. Each slide explaining something. So from his art. So kindly go through it and make it useful for this session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So until now we have studied problem identification, solution identification, and the business model. So now the next step comes where most of the people get stuck. Thinking is not a difficult process. Everyone who is studying in NIT Silchar or any other premium colleges, we have a good thinking and analytical skills. But where we lack is once we have taken a first step about a project or a prototype, then we don't know how to convert that particular thing into a company. Starting a company, it's not a big deal. It looks like it's a big deal, but it's a simple process. I will discuss that process in the coming slide. So first thing is, if you are planning to register a startup as a company, then you will be the director of that company. So first you have to get a digital signature certificate. This can be, you can apply for DSC from the MCA portal, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Once, and this digital signature is like when you sign agreement on paper, is just like doing a physical signature. That's a certificate you get from MCA. Post this, you have to register your company on MCA portal. Generally, whenever a new startups are getting registered, they go with private limited because the shareholding structure and all those things are pretty easy there, and future investment are also easy to raise. But yeah, there are different types of company formation, which I am not going into right now. And once your registration is successfully done on the MCA portal, then you will get a certificate of incorporation. So these are the 3 simple steps which you have to do if you want to raise any sort of funding or need incubation support from the government-based agency. Once company registration is done, then you must open a business bank account for your company. Do not operate from your personal account because you have to keep the transaction separate. This will make your filings at the end of the year easy. Then you should apply for Startup India recognition. This status is very valuable in India because it gives you a tax exemptions in many cases and makes a legal compliance easier. It also gives you access to special government grants and funding programs if your startup is eligible for it. Third, you should also apply for GST. GST is generally applicable above a threshold value if your startup is having a revenue particular threshold. But it is recommended, or most of the startups enroll for GST early because this is required while generating invoices and various other compliances. It makes the life easier. The most critical part is the IP protection. So once your company is registered and company name is finalized, finalizing a company name is also not an easy process because when you are finalizing a company name, it has to be a unique name, not used by any other person. And that name should be easy to understand by the end customer as well. So it takes time. And your company names and brand names are different. So trademark filing is key aspect in this case because if you are building a brand and not taking a trademark protection, then there are chances that particular your brand name or your company name, anyone else can do a trademark on it. And when your brands become big, you will be in big trouble because you cannot use your own brand name which you are building, and you will lose everything. So protecting the IP, especially the trademark IPs, it should be done as early as possible once your company is registered. Rest of the IPs, patent or the copyright, those are critical, but those things can be done as and when required, but trademark should be done at the beginning itself. So now let us look at the typical timeline for these steps. So company incorporation, which makes your company legal, usually takes somewhere around between 5 to 15 days. Getting the important Startup India recognition is faster, takes only around 2 to 7 days. And GST registration takes around 3 to 10 days only. And all these things can be done online. Also, here is the approximate cost. So if you are registering for a private limited company, the cost generally around 6,000 to 20,000. And if you are filing for a trademark to protect your brand name, this will cost you around 4,500 plus GST. So the fees are nominal, it's not a big cost. So generally, whenever I talk to students or some other people, they think registering a company is a big process, but it's a simple process can be completed within a month. So we have covered how to make your startup legal. Now let us talk about the best legal structure for you guys depending on your goals. So we have two different paths. First, if you are only experimenting because you want to learn something new or you want to experience something new, you should try to start small, build your product prototype first. Do not go for company registration directly, because if you are just experimenting and not sure whether you will sustain it or not, or you are going to work it on long time, unnecessary, you will spend a lot of time in company formation, company formalities, and of course whatever the fees is, you are also making an expenditure. So don't go for it. Do the experiment for good amount of months, 5 months, 6 months, or 1 year. Understand whether you want to uh, build it and you want to make your career or your business out of it. Then only go for a company registration. Once if you are sure that if you want to raise a fund, your product has potential, the validation phase is completed, then you can go and immediately register your company, and there is no uh, hurdle in that. Directly you can register your company. Also, there are common mistakes which generally college students do make. They will make some product prototype, they are too motivated, and they will falsely assume that their product is working just based on some random feedbacks from their friends or from their peer without proper uh, following the proper structure of collecting the feedback. And then they go and register their company, which is wasting their time. Also, the another mistake is when you are going to file register your company, and if there are two or more partners, generally they do not agree on the shareholding structure or the partnership structure, which should be ideally finalized at the beginning of the company registration itself, so that there are no disputes at later stage. So anyone has any doubts regarding this process, or shall we move to the next slide? Okay. So moving to the next slide. So we have finished talking about the legal setup for the startup. Now we will move to the most important steps for getting funding or joining a incubator. So basically, incubator is a program. Their aim is to support the early stage startups. In some cases, incubators only support those startups which are registered as a company, and in some cases, they support the idea itself. If your idea is good, you can demonstrate the execution capabilities that yes, you have the ability to solve this product and ability to build the team. They will spend time on you, they will share the guidance with you. So generally when you are the motivation to apply for incubation program is, once if you get selected or your idea gets selected, you will get a co-working space. Generally you will get a co-working space, you will get a mentorship for various other things, for filing the patent, for redefining the business models, for P&L related things, compliance related things, and life becomes very easy post that. Otherwise, you have to figure out each and everything by yourself, and you will not have so much time. You should think whether you want to spend your time in building the product or doing the compliances, which can be done by anyone else. So, for applying any incubator program, you need a pitch deck. Generally, this should have 8 to 12 slides, not many. And you have to clearly demonstrate the problem you are trying to solve and how big is the market pain or how big is the size of the problem. Size of the problem is the key factor through which one can estimate what is the future business possibility on this problem. Second, you should have a solution and give a demo of it. solution cannot be just a theoretical solution that I'm going to build this. This will not work in general. If you are talking about any solution, then you should have a prototype for it. Along with prototype, you should also have a business model, how you are going to make money, how you are going to launch your product. Then what is your current team and what are their commitments? And if you don't have a current team, how you are planning to build it? Because a single person cannot run a company. You need complementary skills. If you are a tech founder who knows coding, then you need a counterpart who can manage business or marketing. If you are a person who knows business and marketing, you need a counterpart who can manage tech. Generally, this is considered as a good balanced team, but there is nothing stopping you being a solo founder and manage everything, having the non-core team with you. And at the end of the pitch deck, do include your expectations, what kind of expectations you have, what kind of money you are looking for, what kind of mentorship you are looking for. And that's the basic application process. When you are giving a pitch to the incubator programs, be ready for the basic questions which you have to have answered with certainty and based on facts. The question will come, though you are covering in your slides, what is the problem you are solving? And why does this problem matter? So you should think about these answers. Means if you are creating a value, definitely you are solving a problem and that matters to someone, to your target customers. And why is your team right one to fix it? Why should I believe? Because in most of the cases, when you are identifying a problem, there are many other people who have thought about the same problem and the same solution. And all these people are reaching to the same incubator or the different incubator, then they know what is happening in the market. So you also have to justify why your team is best to solve this problem compared to other teams. You don't know what the strength of other team is, but you have to talk about the points about your strength. And a vague answer will not work in this case. You have to have a strong reasoning why you can only solve this problem, no one else can solve. And the answer will come from your passion, your analysis, research, what you have done, and the product you are building upon. These things will construct your answer. Overall this pitch and the question answer session, what the investors or the incubator program coordinators looks is the founder committed to this particular cause? It should not be the case founder is in college or just out of the college. They are interested, they have built some project out of hobby. Now they're applying for the incubation, but later if they get a good job or something, they will leave this. Or if suppose for next 2 years, they are not able to generate good revenue, what they are thinking, and they will shut down this startup. So founder showing a strong founder commitment is must. Because if you are committed to a particular cause, then there are high chances that you will succeed maybe earlier or later. Second thing is a working prototype. If you can demonstrate that you have built a prototype and it's working, I'm not talking about the full-fledged product, but it should be a prototype or a minimum viable product which solve the basic functionalities of the problem that works great. And finally, your ability to execute fast. Fast in the sense, if the same thing will be built by some other big large company. So since large company have large complicated processes, generally their processes or developments are slow. And that's the edge all these startups has. So you have to showcase that you have a fast execution skills. If you can show these three things, there are high chances that you will be get selected in the relevant incubator program. So is everything clear till now? Yes. So what I will do, I will start taking silence as yes. If you guys are not speaking, I will assume everything is understood and I am explaining well. So now I will ask a question. So I've told what are the strong signals. There are three signals: founder commitment, a prototype or MVP or fast execution. These are the three things. If you can demonstrate, you will get a selected in the incubator program. Now I'm asking, what are the three weak signals? If you demonstrate those three weak signals, you will have a high chance of rejection. Anyone would like to answer this?
Sir, can you repeat again?
My question is, I have told there are three strong signals. If you can demonstrate, you have a high chance to get selected in the incubator program. So now I'm asking, show me the three weak signals, your behavior when you are doing, you are presenting your pitch or in the question answer session. What are the three weak signals? If those are visible, then you will be get rejected. Rohan, would you like to speak? Okay, so Rohan has typed in the comment, constantly deviating from the original core goals. Yes, when you are doing a pitch, you should clearly focus on single biggest problem and the solution. Do not focus on multiple problems. If you are going to focus on too many things, there are high chances you will get rejected. Second, if you have not validated your prototype, it it should not be like this. Okay, we are going to discuss with customers, we will talk with customers, we will collect the feedback. It shows you are not serious, you are not taking the feedback at the right time. So if you are going for a pitch, have the customer validations, customer videos, customer messages, customer screenshot, whatever validates that your product is useful for the end customer. And the third weak signal is if your prototype is not working properly. Suppose if you have built an app is crashing or app is lagging, the touch is not smooth. So I'm not asking that you have to have too many functionalities within the app, but whatever you are building, it should be a stable product. If it is not stable, then this will create a doubt on your capabilities that you are not a good person to, or you are not a good team to build up this product. So we have to avoid these three things.
Sir, one more point here to adding it. So
Yes.
the thing is, while pitching to the, so for incubation also, we need to know the market size and ROI also, no. So which is the most impacting factor. So without there is no market in the or ROI in expected time, then what was the use of making it? So these are the most. I thought maybe not considered this point.
Right. So when we are talking about how big is the problem, basically you will define the big problem in terms of market size if that is available. If it's an existing market, if it's not an existing market, then you will define how many customers are facing this problem. You have to estimate, maybe based on some certain research reports. Your estimation will not work. You have to have supported numbers from some research report. So we have finished learning how to prepare the important documents. Now we will look at how to get selected by an incubator or secure funding. So the process is online application is the first thing. Screening round will be the second. Third is the pitch presentation. Fourth will be a mentor discussion. There will be a question answer discussion. They will try to uh, understand your mindset. And once all these four steps are passed, then you will get selected for the incubator program. Whenever you are trying to present anything, always use real data. Never assume anything without a proper supporting documents. And there are many incubators. I know there are more than 100 plus incubators which are actively working, and most of the colleges also has incubation program. And I was doing a Google search, and I think NIT Silchar also has something related to incubation program, right, Dr. Vijay?
Yes, sir. We have one incubation center here.
Yes. So it's pretty easy to reach to the incubation center within your college because there are no physical barriers. You have your network, easy to reach out, go and connect with them and take help. But the effort you have to do is you have to have a product and a prototype before taking asking for any help. So we have covered the problem and the solution part, startup registration and the incubation program. Now we will talk about the innovations type and problem solving. So this section is all about turning small daily problems or frictions into a big growing business. We will look some real world examples. We will cover basically three things. A spectrum of innovation. We will define the different ways a company can be innovative. Is it a completely new idea or an improvement to an existing one? Evolution of innovation. We will look at a timeline of the most important innovation in history. And then what are the top 5 scalable problem areas? We will show you the best places to look for your next big business idea. So we are now looking at a different types of innovation. It is important to know which kind of innovation your idea or startup is aiming for. So the first kind of innovation is which is new to world innovation. These are the disruptive innovations. Uh, we call such innovation as a breakthrough innovation that creates a brand new market, the market which never existed before this innovation or changes the global industry completely. A recent example is the creation of Gen AI assistant, which is a totally new innovation, and this has changed the way we do research. We do uh, create documents, our research, we do build products. Everything has a super easy with the modern AI tools. Second type of innovation is a new to country innovation. So these are the innovations which are adaptive in nature. This means taking an idea that is already worked well in some other country, and now you are bringing those innovations to your own country. For example, bringing a first computer in India. That was a new to country innovation for India. Or online booking platforms. These kind of innovation existed in different countries, but gradually they have come to India also and made our life easier. The third type of innovation is new to company innovation. So these are the innovations which are already available in your country, in your region, and other companies are using it. But since till now you were not using it, and now you want to adopt those innovations to make your process or product a better. This also includes the innovation specific to your company. Suppose if you are building a mobile phone and you are launching a new version with an improved camera and the better features. So this innovation is specific to your company only. So these kind of innovations are called new to company innovation. So first thing is, if you are able to build something great, it's good, build it. If you are not able to build something great, look around yourself and see what new things are making the life easier for the end customer and try to adopt it. There is no problem in adopting the new innovation. So there are two ways, either adopt it or create it. Both will build the business. So let us look at a quick history of how innovation has changed the world from the oldest tool to the newest technologies. So this slide shows the evolution of human innovation. So 3500 BC, first wheel was invented, and this simple tool completely changed how we transport heavy things. And built early industries. So, how many of you think inventing a wheel was a breakthrough invention or not at that point of time? Anyone who thinks it was not a breakthrough invention? Good. No one thinks that it was not a breakthrough invention. It was a breakthrough invention because it changed the transportation completely. Today it looks very obvious and we don't value it, but Srikanth, you have typed something. Evaluation means
It depends. What we'll say. Um, uh, what industry demands. So then, in that cases, with the development in the society, all those things, few innovations will come. Mostly, it's not only the breakthrough. It will be considered as a developmental change, a transformation. We can say that. Is it correct? Is my idea I explained?
transformation is something which can be an sort of incremental change as well. But when you are inventing a thing for the first time and which is changing the complete the way you live, the way you work, then it is considered as one of the breakthrough invention. And
Yeah. Yes, sir.
and
I told with respect to evolution here. Sorry.
evolution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is like in the slide. It is showing like 5 years for the period. The technological changes came. So
Hmm.
that's what the thing I explained. So it's
Okay.
not about breakthrough. What I explained. Thank you. You can
Understood.
continue.
Then let's think about the first automobile in 1886. Uh, this moved society away from animal power to machine power, completely changing how everyone moves around the world. Then fast forward to 1973, the cellular phone. This was a huge step, making a communication no longer tied to one physical place. It started the age of constant connection. You are moving from one place to another, and you can be connected with your peers, with your colleagues, with your friends. In the recent times, UPI was a massive innovation in fintech. It made sending money digitally instant when it was feeling what say it looks difficult how most of the people will make digital transactions. Now it becomes so easy. It looks so easy. And in 2022, the launch of LLMs and the generative AI. This is the shift from just processing data to creating content, starting a new era where humans and AI working together. So this is the kind of innovation. From this slide, what I want to deliver is innovation is a continuous process. There is no end to it. So it proves means anyone can innovate at any point of time. There is no end to innovation, and the next innovation can be done by our self, our team, someone who is working with us can be an innovator for the next big breakthrough. But do not just focus on the big breakthroughs. Try to get small wins at the same time to keep yourself motivated. So these are the best domains. This slide shows the best domains for the next generation of successful startups, which can have breakthrough innovations. And these are the large scale problems. These are not the only large scale problems. I'm just showing top five, which I think should be solved if we need a breakthrough invention. I'm not going to explain all these five things. What instead I would like take a pause of 30 seconds, 40 seconds, read it. If you have any doubt about any of these domains, please raise a question to me. So these are self-explanatory. Anyone has any doubt?
Sir,
Yes, Srikant.
yeah, in backslide. So sustainability, can you explain, sir? So with respect to e-waste management in supply chain, circular supply chain or
Hmm.
e-waste, can you elaborate this point?
So as the technology is progressing, everyone using the consumption of electronic gadgets is increasing day by day, and
Okay.
there is no fixed method or there is no easy to available method where you can recycle your electronic uh, items. Most of
Okay.
the people still they throw their batteries, they throw their old mobile phones, their bulbs, etc. in the dustbins, and there is
Yeah.
no proper method of segregation, and these are polluting the soil. And when the
Yes.
soil gets polluted, your food complete food chain is disrupted. So this needs a large scale solution where you can develop a supply chain where you can segregate the waste from the home itself. That this is a electronic waste, and within electronic waste also there will be different kind of segregations. So that each and every electronic waste or non-usable item should go to the factory, recycled and processed accordingly.
Yes, it is not, segmentation is not done. That segregation is not
Yes.
done.
So segregation is the biggest problem, and which is causing a lot of because every waste, household waste, is getting dumped into the some dumping grounds.
Yes, sir. Actually, in few countries like Japan, they have resolved this issue. I thought e-waste management, and Germany as well. With respect to plastic, that is managed by Singapore. I thought
Yes.
these are the countries resolved. Singapore is resolved plastic management, that uh, plastic waste, and then. With respect to sustainability in Japan and Germany solved this e-waste management.
Yes, they have solved to certain extent, but this is largely remain unsolved in India.
In India, yes, sir.
In India, we have to solve this. Either you can copy the technology, copy the process, or you can innovate something on your own.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It gives me idea.
So, in the beginning, I discussed about the community building. I know in one of the comment also I was reading one person mentioned that he does not have any community support. And as per my understanding also, 50% of the people have community support, 50% of the people do not have community support. So I am trying to build a community, a student-led community, mostly focused on two or three things. First is I want to build up a culture on ideation, discuss the ideas you have among yourself. Second is once you are discussing the ideas, then how to solve those problems and how to execute it. So my belief, my core belief is if anything is getting discussed continuously, one day work also start in the same direction and it will solve the problem. So I want to start this community building, and NIT Silchar will be the one of the first institute of this initiative. So if anyone is interested to be a part of this community and want to start this community, please scan this QR code. This QR code will open the Google form link. If you are interested, please fill the form, and then accordingly I will get in touch. Of course, with the permission of Dr. Bijit, if Dr. Bijit allows this. So that's it from my side. QR code is visible on the screen. You can scan it. Over to you, Dr. Bijit. I'm done from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very much wonderful talk. I think our student has enjoyed it very much because a lot of discussion and interaction was held here. So, and also I will share the email ID of our resource person with you. If someone is interested, you can discuss with sir. Okay, that may be helpful for you because he has given a lot of information which may be useful for you to help the setting up the startup and all these things. Okay, so thank you again, Aman sir, for delivering such a nice talk. We will try to keep
Thank you,
connected.
Dr. Vijay Chaudhary. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Sir.